One of the biggest advantages someone who is young and who wants to succeed in life has in this current modern age, and this will be the case for a while now, probably for a long time. One of the biggest advantages is patience. Now, let me explain why. It's basically because you usually don't want to follow the crowd, because when the crowd is doing something, then if you do the same thing, it's not going to work because everyone else is doing the same thing, and you're not going to succeed doing that because everyone else is. There's no differentiator. Why would you do better than them when everyone else is doing the same thing? So specifically what that means is you have to be patient because everyone else your age is impatient, and therefore will use a lot of short-sighted, short-term strategies to succeed. Now, why are people impatient to succeed in the modern age? It's very simple. It's because social media, all they see, all that's blasted in front of them on Twitter, no one uses Twitter anymore, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on YouTube, on TV. Do people actually watch TV anymore? The point is, the point is they see all these young people who get really rich or famous at a young age. And it's like a very small percentage when you really break it down, like a 0.0001% of them do. And out like in an industry that only accounts for less than 1% of the millionaires that exist, which is entertainment, the celebrities, the actors, and musicians. Most of these people are just magnified and blasted in front of these young kids. And what ends up happening is they think, you know what? I'm just not doing anything with my life. Man, I want to get just as rich and just as successful quickly because I'm jealous. It's a very unconscious thing. And what ends up happening is they do a lot of very impatient things to succeed, and they can't stand to be patient in a lot of ways. They don't want to invest for 5, 10, 20 years. They don't want to do that. And of course there are people who do. Maybe you're one of them. There's a lot of people in the personal finance industry who do, but they're still a rare breed. So I'm not saying there's no people who are patient that are young. There are, but it's like 0.0001%. So what you can do is oftentimes differentiate yourself, stand out, and do something different and succeed by doing that. The truth is, and there's plenty of longitudinal studies and books that prove this, and even really cool infographics. I have this whole article on my site where it's like, the title of the article is it too late to be successful after parentheses insert age here parentheses question mark, and the whole point of the article is to kind of prove that a great majority, a vast majority of the successful billionaires and actors and all these people out there, they did it at a later age in life. And I think this disease of impatience is something that this video alone will do very little to impact. And I'm releasing it even though it's arguably bringing more competition, because I'm just so sick of the masses of people who just fall into this impatience trap, and they're just like, I gotta be successful early on, and they use a lot of short-term tactics to try and get there, which may destroy their long-term strategy. Now that's not always the case. There's a lot of people who work hard and hustle, and they're just investing in themselves in the process. But it's enough to really fire me up to do this video. I'm sick of it. If I can at least tweak a few people to align in the right direction, I think that'd be a cool thing. It'd be less annoying and helpful for them. But if you're one of these people, of course, just try and look long term. Many people, their greatest days will be far ahead of them, and to get there they have to really invest slowly and build over a very long period of time because humans live very, very long. And I think that's a huge thing. That's a very modern development in the last 100, 200 years, really thanks to many health developments, specifically antibiotics, which has on its own extended the human lifespan by a good couple decades, if not more. And so people are not accounting for this. They think their life is over after the age of 20 or 30 years of age. And there's a lot of biological reasons behind this. For women, very obvious, fertility rates. You know, they're highest and the most beautiful and youngest and fertile and ripe to be impregnated around, you know, mid-20s, early 20s even. So it's very, you know, clear for them for a lot of reasons, seemingly, especially when their career hinges on their beauty or their marriage, to think that it's downhill after that age. Men might also model around that. I definitely used to think that way until I really started studying a lot of really successful billionaires and really, you know, learning a lot of this advice that I'm echoing back to you. So I really don't want to belabor this point and just, you know, rant on for 30 plus minutes, which is probably not ideal for YouTube anyways, about the same thing. If you're in your 20s especially, I really think this video will help you out, because most people are not ambitious, and those who are, they're impatient. And it's very easy to be impatient because, I mean, I'm just like you guys. I'm fairly young. I see all this stuff, if not more than you guys. And it's going to always be here, even more than ever before, because of all this new technology, the internet, sharing, and you're going to get all this stuff blasted in your face. But you can really stand out by just thinking, how can you do things differently? I mean, I could give you all these examples. Warren Buffett, like, he made like 90% of his money after the age of 50. And he's in his like 80s now. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's iconic in many ways. You know, he became, you know, Mr. Olympia 7 times over. Then he became a real estate millionaire before acting. Then he became this, you know, highest paid actor in the world. Then he became governor. But he's 70 years old. Like, he's pretty old. You have a long life to live. And it's really important, in my opinion, to ask yourself, why are you doing these things? And for a lot of these people, there's quote-unquote success, which, like it or not, for most of you watching, your success is defined by wealth and fame, which is just how it is. But I don't think that's all that there is to it. There's all these other things. Family time. Are you spending enough time with your family? Because if you don't, you can really regret that when you're older, even if you are rich and famous. And then there's also like happiness, fulfillment. Like, do you really think that this will bring you happiness or fulfillment? Because, you know, the science of happiness and, you know, the last 2 decades of positive psychology prove otherwise to a great majority. I mean, there is some correlation there, but it's not everything. So again, if your why is wrong, you could really end up struggling. And a lot of these people who are quote-unquote stereotypically successful in the traditional sense of wealth and money, they did it not because of wealth and money, and it was because of their passion for a greater purpose, to be a champion, to be the best in the world, to really make an impact in, or, you know, to spread some message. Those things, or because they love what they did so much, those were much higher motivators, which is what they needed to get them there. I was just reading another book by Sumner Redstone. He's the president and owner of Viacom. He's billionaire, 5.3 million in net worth. Not million, billion with a B, 5.3 billion. He has a short book called A Passion to Win. And that's exactly what he said. It's, you know, if your goal is money, you will not get there. You need a higher, stronger motivation, like to become a champion. And it is a cliche. I mean, when I read that in the book, it was probably like the 1,000th time I heard some variation of that, but it's still true, and I still need a reminding of that because I am young like you, and bombarded by these things on social media telling me, this is what's happiness. So long story short, have some patience and really question your why. Is it really a good why? And there's nothing wrong with becoming rich. Like, you will be partially happier to a certain extent if you're richer. You can have more fun in many ways, more freedom, but it's not an end-all be-all. Really have a strong why and really enjoy the journey. Find ways of enjoying the journey because it's more fun that way, and it will get you to your goal faster, and it'll increase your chances of success. I really believe in the Warren Buffett's whole philosophy. Yeah, I mean, he has a long, expansive philosophy on life and family and being a good person and making money. And one of his things he says is on pretty much just enjoying your journey. He really does not ascribe. He really recommends you do not follow this path of suffering for 20, 30 years to finally get to some end destination where you can finally enjoy life because you've made enough money. He really believes in this idea of following your passion and doing something, whether you make a lot of money from it or not. Obviously, it helps if you make money from it, or you will one day, but really find something you do. And that's also a cliche in of itself, but it has to be said. And of course, there's all sorts of different arguments for that. A whole nother video to be made on that on its own, like following your passion. Can we all really follow our passion? Can we learn to love something that's maybe not the most glamorous? Studies have shown you can. So there's different facets to it, and confirmation bias and graveyard effect bias and all these people who are really lucky and they have a really fun job, and obviously they're going to say follow your passion, but it may not really be the best advice because it's coming from this guy who won the lottery in so many different ways. So there's all those different factors, but I really do think that if you can at least every day make your career, your life 1% more fun, enjoyable, and be a little bit 1% more patient, and 1% better, it's the best investment you can make, and it's the best payoff in the short term, long term, present term, and I really think that's the key. Warren Buffett, he said it best. He says the best investment you can make, that's the most inflation proof for the average professional out there, for everyone, is an investment in yourself. Stocks can go up and down, interest rates, bonds, depreciation, the Fed's control of those interest rates, all those macroeconomic factors, recessions, depressions, doesn't matter. If you're investing in yourself, that's inflation proof because you are developing a skill. Again, I do think there are some nitty-gritty specifics, like you have to choose a skill and then head yourself with other skills, and then choose skills that are marketable, that actually pay, that people would pay for, and you have some competitive advantage at. But ultimately, on a higher level, if you keep investing in yourself and providing that value, that's what's going to last. Hopefully this video helped. Patience, again, is the theme of it. Enjoy it. Enjoy what you're doing. Have some fun. And the ride will be better than the destination. Another cliche that is often just not followed often. Go listen to The Climb by Miley Cyrus. And really pay particular attention to the lyrics. By the way, Miley didn't write that song. Fun fact. Thanks for watching. Peace out.